A weak man cannot love, and this is because love requires strength and it requires competence. For example, a man that loves is going to lead, he's going to protect, he's going to provide, and he's going to look after the people that he so-called loves. So you can see he needs to be able to lead, he needs to be able to protect, he needs to be able to provide, he needs to be able to be strong and do all of these things. And if he can't do all of these things, then he cannot love. And so why is his inability to love proof of him not loving? The reason this is because you basically become what you think. What you think about the most is what you become. So as a man, if you are really, really strong in love, that's going to be on your mind 24/7, is making yourself capable of loving, right? Just say if you love video games, those video games are on your mind 24/7 and you're optimizing your life to become as good at that video game as you possibly can. And so the man is going to optimize his life to become as capable of loving as he possibly can. So he's going to be doing everything to become as strong as he can so that he can protect, everything so that he can become as socially effective as he possibly can so that he can lead people, the people he loves, in social situations, especially in the modern day. He's going to become as stoic as he can so that he can do the same thing, so that he can calm other people's anxiety, so that he can calm other people's fear and when they're scared, etc., etc. He's going to optimize himself to become as strong as he possibly can in every single area so that he can lead, protect, and provide. If he really, really is a loving man, because that's going to be on his mind 24/7. So, this is why, if he's a weak man, we know that he isn't very loving because love isn't on his mind that much. Because you become what you think about, and he hasn't become a man that is capable of loving. A loving man becomes capable as a consequence of his extreme love that is constantly in his mind. And so this is also, by the way, interesting because that is a fact. You become what you think about. And in the Bible, Jesus Christ emphasizes love. It's a teaching that Jesus gives us that if we implement has psychological benefits. So, if we're told to love 24/7 and we start loving 24/7 because we think about it 24/7, we become the product of what we think about, which is something that is capable of loving everyone and everything. And in order to love everyone and everything, you need to be extremely capable, extremely strong, a leader, a protector, a provider, etc., etc. So that's a cool psychological correlation that to that teaching of loving. And so, how do you begin or become the man that is capable of loving if right now you're, say, a weaker man and you're willing to admit that you don't think about loving that much, you don't think about protecting, providing, and leading that much? And the first step is admitting it, by the way. That is the first step. And once you've done that, you can improve, you can progress. And so, the way in which you become the man that is capable of loving is, as we have just said, is you start to think about loving way, way more. You start to think about leading someone you love, leading people you love way, way more. You start to think about protecting someone you love way, way more. You start to think about having these people you love and protecting them mentally, physically, spiritually, calming their anxiety, keeping the devil's fear from scaring them. When they're scared, you remove that fear from them. You comfort them, you protect them, you provide for them, you lead for them. You start thinking about this all the time. And then, as a consequence, you become capable of doing those things. Just how in the making money niche, they always say, think about money 24/7 and you'll end up making a fuck ton of money. As a consequence, regardless of how dumb, smart, stupid you are, if you think about money 24/7 for the next 10 years, you're going to end up filthy fucking rich. You become what you think about. And so, if you want to become a strong man, by the way, the best way is to think about loving 24/7. Because love is the thing that requires the most strength. Nothing requires more strength than love. Because love requires you to protect from the greatest dangers on the earth, which means you have to be capable of facing the greatest dangers on the earth. There's nothing that can make you stronger than that. So start thinking about love 24/7, and you're going to become a strong, competent man, as the Bible is clearly asking us to become through many indirect ways. And one being to love everyone and anyone.